Alright, looks like we're well overdue for another one, huh? That's right, by request I have more terms you should know as a VTuber, or even as a fan of VTubers. This time I wanted to focus more on the streaming side of things, so this is less Japanese lesson and more general vocab. So strap in and grab your pencils because here are 10 more words you should know. Starting off with Live 2D, or L2D for short. This is typically used for a rig VTuber model, and comes from the software used in making those models called Live 2D Cubism. In a more dictionary sense, Live 2D is an animation technique used to animate static images. You may also see this on assets that are animated to use with Live 2D models. I often use this term when searching for animated VTuber assets, as it ensures that that asset will actually be animated. If an asset does not say Live 2D, that just means it's a static image and won't move. Which brings us to the next term, VTube Studio, or VTS, the software used to run the models. This application can be found on Steam, and after uploading the file of your art and rigging, can connect to the camera and finally bring the model to life. There are a ton of things you can do with VTube Studio, and I have some tutorials you might want to take a look at and make sure you're using it to its full potential. Next up, we have Mama and Papa. Okay, so this one is a bit interesting, so let me give some more context. No, we're not talking about actual family. In VTubing, calling someone Papa or Mama means that they took part in making the VTuber model. This was something that confused me at the start because some VTubers had mamas and papas that may not have corresponded with a specific gender. Some VTubers also only had one person who claimed to be both mama and papa. What in the mitosis? See, mama in VTubing just means that it's the person responsible for the art before any animation or rigging has been completed. On the flip side, papa means the person responsible for rigging the model, animating it to move with Live 2D. These terms are applied regardless of gender. VTubers also have what are known as model siblings. These are fellow VTubers that share the same mama or papa. Alright, now on to our Japanese term of the video, because let's be honest, I feel like we needed at least one. This time it's Akasupa. This means red super chat. Super chat are donations through YouTube and will change color with the amount given. The lowest is a light blue and the highest is red. Super chats will turn red at $100 US, but this amount can vary depending on the currency. This often leads to the streamer immediately acknowledging the generous donation, but sometimes are collected with other super chats for super chat reading streams. But as always, remember to only give what you are comfortably able to when it comes to donating to any content creator. But back to English, and this time with pre-debut. This is the term used to describe a VTuber whose design has been revealed but who has not made an official debut. In some cases, they may have streamed but just not thrown a big debut event. Being a pre-debut VTuber means you're in the early days, maybe wanting to tweet, get art, or even make short videos, but not necessarily fully committing to streaming. In addition, pre-debut may also be used for someone who only has a PNG tuber model and is a full-time streamer and content creator, but not yet obtained a 2D or 3D avatar. In that same vein, we have re-debut, another debut stream for a VTuber who has already debuted. This may be done to introduce a new design, a name change, or the like. So in practice, re-debut may be used for a new outfit, but is often more fitting for a bigger change, better used for a total rebrand. More recently, people have been using the term re-debut to refer to talents who have left an agency such as Hololive, Nijisanji, or Vshoujo, and have now become indie. Although technically this could be their first debut as a new account, knowing the talent behind the VTuber and the familiarity have led to call these events re-debuts. Plus, if you miss one of these events, the videos are most likely saved as VODs. VODs, or video on demand, is essentially a recording of the stream. You can go back and watch it, well, on demand. Not all streams, of course, are saved. It depends on the streamer. I have put every video on auto-post for Twitch and YouTube, but some people put their VODs behind a paywall, privated in case edits need to be made, or some don't even save them at all. On YouTube, VODs are saved under the live section. If a stream, however, is labeled unarchived, like a karaoke, then that means once the stream is done, there's no rewatching it. After that, we have Off Collab. Off Collab is a collab stream, but instead of participants being virtual, they're actually in the same physical space. Sometimes this is also used when VTubers are just hanging out and not even live. An example of this being during the Vtuber convention of Offkai. Lots of streamers met up, and whether it was streamed or not, most people just called this event an Off Collab. For our second to last term, we have one that used to be totally taboo, and that is Past Life, or PL. Past life refers to who a VTuber was before their current identity, more often used to refer to indie VTubers who have gone corporate or who have returned from a corporate identity. This has been an interesting point of debate on whether or not you should mention a past life. One example is when it was generally assumed to be fine or in fact encouraged was when Nijisanji Liver Selene was terminated. Due to the nature of the termination, it seemed to be commonly stated that she had come back as Doki Bird. In this case, her PL was Selene. However, some people think it shouldn't be shared if they are starting off new in an agency or starting a new life no longer wanting association with a previous company. So, to summarize, PL just means the previous identity of a VTuber, and depending on the situation, it may or may not be okay to discuss this. And lastly, when a VTuber leaves, not via termination, but on a positive note, this is called a graduation. A graduation, much like graduating from school, is when a VTuber is leaving their company or streaming activities in total. If you want to learn more about graduations, check out my video for everything you need to know, from how and why a VTuber might graduate. But that's all for today. Make sure you like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to learn more about VTubers or content creation. But that's it for today. Leave any questions in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!